Hi, friends. Hopefully, you haven't had enough of the Pythagorean theorem because it's one of my favorites. Today, we're going to talk about using, or in this video, I shouldn't say today. In this video, we're going to talk about using the Pythagorean theorem. So, how do I use it? What is the point? What does it do? Well, the biggest thing is it's a relationship in right triangle that Pythagoras showed us or mastered. And what it tells us is we can use it to find missing parts of a right triangle. So, we're going to go ahead and jump right in. Here I have a right triangle. Again, a couple things I want to note. I have a right triangle based on my right triangle symbol. 6 and 8, those are my legs because they form an L, right? They form that 90-degree angle. So I know that those are my legs. And I know that C is my hypotenuse because it's across from my right triangle. So those are some things that I like to draw on my right triangles just to keep myself organized. Well, what's missing? I have legs. I don't have a hypotenuse, so we must be finding a hypotenuse. I gave it away right in the title. Okay, so always going to start with my Pythagorean theorem. A squared plus B squared equals C squared. Again, if you're like, what the heck is that? You got to go back and check out the Pythagorean theorem video and review that piece. So A squared plus B squared equals C squared. Two variables I can fill in. I can fill in A and B because those stand for the legs, and I have those legs. So 6 squared. Now 6 could go in for A, it could go in for B. We talked about in the last video how A and B are interchangeable. I always like to just kind of go in order. 8 is B, so 8 squared, and then C, I don't know. So I'm going to keep it C. I can't replace it if I don't know what it is. All right, I'm down to one variable. Now I just got to do a little bit of calculation. I'm going to multiply this to find out what it equals. 6 squared. 6 times 6, 36. 8 squared. 8 times 8, 64. Equals, I cannot do anything here. I don't know what C is. So all I can do is write C squared. Probably should have done that in green just to, let's just do that. So C squared. I can't evaluate it if I don't know what it is. Now what can I do? Well, I can put these together to make 100. Still don't know what C squared is, so I'm going to put C squared. And now it goes back to my solving. I want to know what C value squared makes 100. So I'm going to draw my line. I'm going to square root because that will cancel, leaving me with my C. And then I'm going to square root 100, which I know is 10. Plus or minus 10, right? Plus or minus 10. Because we talked about solving, we need to include both. But can I have a negative length? No, I can only have a positive length. So I'm just going to put 10 there. I can't have a negative 10 meter line. I can have a positive 10 meter line. So that's how I can use it to find C. Let's go ahead and do another one. All right, 5 and 12. They're my legs, right? For my L. C is my hypotenuse. It's across from my 90-degree angle. So let's go ahead and throw them in. 5, going to put it in for A. 12 going in for B. And C, I don't know. So C stays C. Evaluate these. So I'm going to find out what that equals, find out what that equals. So this is 25. This is 144. Still don't know C squared, so I'm going to leave it C squared. I'm going to add these together. That's going to give me 169 equals C squared. And then I need to get rid of that square. So I'm going to square root. Because remember, the square, that number represents that square that we built off the side with our graph paper. The C is actually the length of the side, so that's why we're doing that. This gives me plus or minus 13. And which number do I want, the positive or the negative? I want the positive. So C equals 13 centimeters. Number 3. All right, got some decimals here. Now, I'm not going to change anything. Pattern doesn't change, just the numbers do. Leg, form the 90-degree angle. C is across from it, so that must be the hypotenuse. 3.6 squared. I put it in parentheses just because it's a decimal and I like to do that. 4.8 squared. Put it in parentheses again, and then C, I don't know. All right, I got to jump to my calculator here. Do that squaring those decimals. So 3.6 times 3.6, that's 12.96. 4.8 times 4.8, 23.04. I'm going to add these together. That gives me 36. Ooh, that's a nice number. That's going to work out pretty well for me because it's a perfect square. So now I square root, cancel, cancel. C equals plus or minus 6. So C equals 6 miles. All right, hang in there with me. I got one more quick one. It's just a problem where we don't have any diagram. We just have measurements. So we're going to run through this real quick. I know A, I know B, I know those are legs, so they're going in for A and B. 13 squared, 84 squared, C squared. 13 squared is 169. 84 squared, I'm going to have to use the 7,056 equals C squared. Add those together. And now I'm going to square root and square root. So again, just a reminder, I'm going to need a calculator for this. If you're on Google, you could type in SQRT parentheses 7225 and it will give you your result. So the square root of 7,225 is 85. So C equals 85 because I want the positive. And that is how we can use the Pythagorean theorem to help find missing parts of a triangle. Hope this helps. If you have any questions, just go back and review and use these problems to help you with your work.